In Robstown, one man is facing murder charges in connection with a shooting that left one man dead and another severely injured. It started last night just after 6:30 at the intersection of Avenue G and Flores. When police arrived, they found a 52-year-old James Rojas Sr. laying in the roadway with a gunshot wound to the chest, a 28-year-old James Rojas Jr. sitting inside a vehicle with a gunshot wound to the head. The younger Rojas died at the scene. 38-year-old Carlos Hernandez Silva was arrested. He faces charges of murder and aggravated assault. 26-year-old Jesse Trevino, also found at the scene, was arrested on a separate warrant. Police say all four men knew each other. The Texas Rangers are investigating.